Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz, and welcome to Monday Night Online Open Mic. It's Monday. Where are the beautiful faces? There are the beautiful faces. I love me my Mondays. Shout out to Mr. Nick Luis for getting this puppy started for us. I appreciate you. In fact, in October, I think it's October 16th off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I'll have to make sure I get the date. I am hosting a film festival for Nick. It is going to be awesome. I'm so excited about that. But let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about today. And I know we got our poets who are going to be rocking out. Today is a special day. This is the 77th Monday Night Online Open Mic. We've been doing it for 77 weeks in a row, non-stop. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube if you want to see our past recordings of our shows and other shows we've done, or you want to see a recording of this show later on. If you happen to be watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, you could join us on Zoom. The number's on the bottom of the screen, 279-995-364. 279-995-364. The number will be on the bottom of the screen for a little bit. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help support us with a tax-deductible donation by going to www.neweurekan.org/contribute or to our Cash App, New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme is pirate. I think tonight is like International Pirate Day, or that was the weekend. And that's why I chose the theme. And it's kind of weird. We haven't really done like something weird like that. So I'm really excited to see what everyone comes up with. Of course, if you did not write to the theme, then that means you cannot perform tonight. I'm joking. You do not have to share the theme. If you happen to be, it's your first time performing, you are not ready for the theme, it's okay, share your poem. Or maybe you're going through something different this week and you just don't want to mess with the theme and you got something else you want to do, then you can do it, no problem. If you see on the right-hand side of the screen, I give you what is the next 2 months of themes that are coming up. Next week is unspoken rules. Then we have spirit animal farming, all that good stuff. You can find all of this and more on my social media. If you go onto Instagram or Twitter, you look up Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license. I'm also on YouTube, where you can find the highlights from our open mics. I actually finally got back to being able to edit the highlight reels, and Thirst Trap got put up this morning. So after the show, you can make sure you go look me up on YouTube and you will be able to find that stuff. Poets, when you are performing and I call your name, please turn your camera on. We want to simulate a real life in-person open mic as much as possible. And part of that is the performance and us getting to see your beautiful faces and expressive faces. Now, a few rules. Make sure that you have your poem ready. We have a lot of people on the open mic list. People who know me know I like to get to the waiting list if possible. So please make sure that you have your poem ready way before I call you. Please be courteous. Rule number 2, 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes to read / perform your poem. Please stick to the 4 minutes. And actually, today is the last day we're going to be doing the 4 minutes. I'll speak on that later, but today you have 4 minutes. Please be courteous. Also, for those of you who are asking, what kind of censorship is there? There's none. Put the kids to bed. Some ish is going to be said today. Sometimes people exploring their trauma. Sometimes people, talking about their sexuality. Whatever it is, there's no censorship. You have been warned. After our poets perform, you will see this message. The host would like you to unmute. That blue button is blue for a reason. It stands out. Click it. Unmute. Be loud. Be obnoxious. Let's shower each other with some praise. It's never easy sharing poems. Even if you've done it 1,000 times, it's never easy. So let's give each other some love. This Saturday, Wild Poets again is back. We are doing an in-person open mic down near the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. It's going to be a block west of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe in front of Wild Project. The Nuyorican Poets Cafe and Wild Project are going to team up once again to do this. We had done it 2 times before. First, we did Wild Culture, which Nick Luis was the producer of and had put together. And then we did Wild Poets, which I had done, and now Wild Poets again. In order to sign up, you would sign up on site. So make sure you get there early. We are starting at 2, which means about 1:45. I'm going to have the open mic list for you to come over and say, hey, Advocate of Wordz, you're good looking in person. Can I sign up for the open mic? And then I'm going to sign you up. Make sure you say I'm good looking in person. This is going to be our list for tonight. I did get some messages. So number 1, Amanda Villanueva is not going to be rocking tonight. She is not going to be able to make it. So Abraham Kamani is going to be starting off. Abraham, make sure you have your poem ready. If you see, we have some of the people who are highlighted in yellow because this is going to be their first time rocking, except I think Cynthia has rocked, but it was under a different name. So, but she only rocked once, so it's okay. We can still highlight her. We also have Lila Illin. I hope I'm saying your name right. When I call you, you can correct me. Then we have, I don't know if it's Nij or NJ Helgensen. Again, I say your name wrong. You're going to be able to correct me. And Alexander Forsberg, which I believe I said that perfectly right. But again, if I didn't say it right, you can correct me. Also, Andy Markert and Gina Nepa. Gina Nepa is 16th. Have switched spots. So Andy is going to go 16th. So with that being said, yeah, I got to it. We took care of business. Now let's get to the real business, which is listening to the poets. We got some people in the waiting room. Let me let them in. So with that being said, we are going to start off with the man who's got the fresh cut, the fresh shave of the beard, and he has started to come back around, and that is Abraham Kamani. Abraham, let the people know where they can find. Oh, before you begin, Abraham, I want to give you time. Those of you who would like to change your name here on Zoom so that you can include your social media handle so people who are watching can see it, make sure you do so. And of course, if you wind up getting into the highlight reel, your information is going to be right there. You don't have to do it, but you can. With that being said, Abraham, let the people know where they can find you online, and you got 4 minutes to rock, brother.
Okay, so you guys could find me on Instagram at The Righteous Poet, spelled WRITEOUS. And this is another autobiographical narrative piece that ties into the theme somehow. It's called Life as a Black Pirate at Paramount High School. From 1999 to 2003, I attended a high school that was full of pirates, most of whom were brown, 75% to be exact. Black pirates constituted 15%. White and yellow pirates were few and far between. My first year as a pirate was the worst. As one of only 4 Black pirates and the only Black male pirate in my language arts class, I was verbally and physically harassed on a daily basis by brown pirates who tried to rob me of my dignity and respect with every insult and object thrown at me: pencils, pens, erasers, papers, books, crayons, coins, and tennis balls. Even one of the brown pirates referred to me as a black piece of shit. Of course, out of retaliation, I dropped fuck you bombs, bitch bombs, hoe bombs, gay bombs, among other bombs, hoping to completely destroy their ego ships, to verbally emasculate them like they were trying to do to me. One day, after language arts class ended, some brown pirate threw a rock and hit me in the back of the head. I asked, "Who threw the rock?" No response. I asked again, "Who threw the fucking rock?" One of the brown pirates said, "I did." We got into each other's faces, pushing and shoving. Before I took off my backpack, rolled up my sleeves, he handed over his binder and school books to his fellow brown pirate homeboy. We squared off and fought. After exchanging several blows to no effect, he landed a hook shot to my jaw, knocking me down. But I quickly got up and continued to throw hook shots, connecting with his head and eyes, while he was landing shots on my ribs. He threw one last hook shot to my face, but missed before the teachers intervened, broke up the fight, and sent us to the office. My counselor asked me if I had problems, why did I not tell him? I told him it was necessary for me to take matters in my own hands. I was placed on in-house suspension. He received a 5-day suspension for starting a fight. The next day, another one of his brown pride homeboys acted like he was going to hit me with a skateboard. He laughed and said he didn't think that I had enough balls to get down. Unfortunately, the size of my black pirate balls did not stop the brown pirates from verbally and physically harassing me for another 3 months. Until one day, when we were watching the West Side Story, another brown pirate threw a piece of paper covered with Scotch tape and hit me on the side of my head. I threw it back and hit him in the eye. The other kids told him that I was crazy and I would kick his ass after class. He said I would not do shit, that he would fuck me up when class ended. We went outside with him behind me talking shit. After gently shoving me twice, I took off my backpack, turned around, and started swinging on him. I lost count of how many times I hit him before he fell with me on top of him, continuing to land punches on his face until security guards broke up the fight. When I came back to being, I saw him lying in a pool of his own blood. I later learned that I broke his nose and busted the blood vessels in both his eyes. The police were going to arrest me and charge me with assault and battery had he not admitted to starting the fight. Luckily, I was suspended for 1 day. He did not return to school for 2 weeks. It was the last time a pirate of any color verbally or physically harassed me for the duration of my life as a black pirate at Paramount High School. In peace.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Abraham. Come on.
Nice, Abraham.
Gangster.
Wow.
Gangster.
That
Damn,
was
everybody.
big money.
Good to have you back, man. For real.
I think we all love you.
Abraham Kamani, he has been back for the last 3 weeks. It's a pleasure to have you back, Abraham. And I like the way you flipped that topic. See, we have something here at the New Rican Poets Cafe called Poetic License. You can flip it however you want. I appreciate you, Abraham. Thank you. Also, after you guys perform, make sure that you check the chat here on Zoom so you can see all the nice things people are saying about you. And you can also go into the chat and put where the people can follow follow you online because human beings are lazy and we like to copy and paste. So make sure y'all do that. Let's keep it going. Next coming up is a gentleman we like to call our cult leader, and that is Nick Paleologos, who also hosts his own open mic. Nick, you know the deal. Let the people know they can find you online, and you got 4 minutes.
Mr. Rock, with enough time I don't need. Right there. That's where you can find me. So my birthday is coming up. This might be the last time I'm going to be rocking for my birthday. So I figured, pirate, birthday, let's go. This one's called I've Sailed the 7 Seas and I Want to Go Home. Did you know that I was a pirate before a cult leader? I feel like I have been on this journey for 31 years. I have a map that doesn't know its direction. I was a scallywag at birth, and even today, I still land low. I'm on my Jolly Roger, marooned to the sea on an island without any clarity. I have been on both ends of a mutiny to which I still sail the 7 seas. Avast ye, mateys. I have walked a plank to be fish food, only to swim with the sharks and dolphins, only for a pirate to scream, "Blimey!" I was supposed to be a dead man that tells no tales, for I lost count after the 5th near-death experience. Aye, they call for me, arr. I've sailed through hell and came back stronger. I know how to be grateful. We're all buccos and buccaneers. We sang shanties of the journeys and funny stories, just like how this goes. We drank our grog and fed it to the frog. Got that frog 3 sheets into the wind. That frog became a pirate and became intertwined into this bullshit that is life until the frog became a spirit. I have gambled on life, lost quite a few times. I broke tabletops of blackjack cards, caught 21 spades and 11 hearts, took doubloons, loot, booty, and riches with me, buried them underground for better value. As I sail my seas with a pirate crew that I am proud of, and I know damn well they are proud of me, for a 32nd time, I look at this revolver and watch it rotate, spin, hope that it doesn't blast, isn't in the chamber, for I have fucked up my life enough. This pirate crew is the crew that is for me. We have bounties on our heads since we were born. Everyone thinks that they can just hit us broadside and then watch us crash and burn. We don't. We rise again with cutlasses in hands to pillage and plunder. Gonna take more than Molotov to incinerate us. So let's go, pirates. And let's take this world by storm. This is time for an uproar that won't be drowned out by the seas. Don't send me to Davy Jones' locker. Send me home and batten down the hatches, because we gonna weather this storm. Now say it with me. Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Say it with me. Aye, aye, Captain. I need some rest, though. After a few days, and after the candles blown out, and after the cannons have been fired, it's time for an uproar. It's time for our uproar that lasts more than 32 years. Peace.
Woo! Unmute yourself and give it up for the aye,
That was a good job.
Aye, Captain.
Oh, man.
Aye, Captain. A crowd pleaser.
Right.
Nick Paleologos, yes, a crowd pleaser. That is why he is our cult leader. I love the voice that he did. Make sure you follow him at The Real Nick P, as you saw it in the bottom where his name was. Like I said, make sure you follow him for more information on when he hosts his own open mic and stuff like that. And happy birthday. I guess he turned 32, right? That's where he put the 32 in there. He turned 32. Awesome, brother. At The Real Nick P on Instagram. Make sure you give him a follow. Oh, Ron Mark Thompson, he's got an eye patch. I love y'all. This is why I love Mondays. Y'all go in. Okay, next coming up, representing the BX, the woman who looks good in all colors. Her poetry is fantastic. She is starting to produce her own stuff too, and that is Roz. Roz, you know the deal. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then you got 4 minutes to rock, sis.
Sure. So, IG, Through Her Big Brown Eyes, throughherbigbrownyes.com, and look out for that book. It's coming out this winter. All right. So I didn't follow the rules today. I am not on topic. This piece is inspired by the Gabby Petito case, sorry. And I felt it was worthy of breaking the rules for this case. And it goes like this. It's called Golden Flower on Top. Silence, hardly ever golden. Utter disregard for words unspoken. Lips sealed shut, don't always have less to say. Labeled crazy by a charming narcissist, sweet talking his way out. Body cam captures officer, sadly mistaken, wrongfully conveying, she'll come out as the golden flower on top of burial site, on top of headstone, latest Jane Doe, in the making, silence, prerequisites of abuse, lips never mouthing her truth, eyes putting her pain on public display. She's the golden flower on top of a page to remind us that silence is hardly ever golden. And peace.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Roz.
Nice.
Hey,
Roz.
Fire.
Thank you.
Through herbbigbrowneyes.com, on Instagram at Through Her Big Brown Eyes. Make sure you give her a follow. She is a mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic and at the Thursday night online open mic. We actually got to meet Roz because of La Bruja. So make sure you check out Thursdays and make sure you go follow Roz so you can find out when her book is coming out. Yay, Roz! I'm proud of you, sis. Get him, get him. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ray Camacho at Ray Did This. He is going to be our co-host for tonight in case Zoom tries to boot me out. I appreciate you, Ray. Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going. Next coming up is DG Clearing. My man is always sharp, man. What's going on, DG? How are you tonight?
I am just great. I am great that you're here and I'm with everybody. You can find me at the DG Clearing on Facebook or anywhere on the net under DG Clearing. I've got one poem for you tonight. It's right at 4 minutes, so I'm going to go right now. The schooner and the sloop. Mom had made 2 ships for us out of the box of her new refrigerator, cut out as an old schooner and a sloop, like we had learned about in school. The schooner had 3 big masts with white sheets as sails, a big ship that could hold a fighting force and cannons. The sloop was a smaller vessel with true gray and black sheets as sails that was fast and swift in the ocean's currents and waves. She said we had to decorate them any way we wanted. The schooner, that would be mine, a gunship of the Navy, with me as the mighty captain and a crew of angel fires, the soldiers of the seas. Named the Thunder for its cannons spewing from their mouths the fire of retribution with the sounds of God punishing all those that went against her ways. The sights and sounds of our great nation. My sister, being the daredevil, gave herself the name Sadie of the Winds, made her pirate ship of lore, and called her sloop the Mercy's Door, commandeered from a rich man's fleet that was anchored in the harbor called the Blue Angel Shores, with a carved mermaid at its bow and skull and crossbones of the Jolly Rogers flying high atop on the crow's nest. She was a ship of the devil's best. We each amassed a crew that would do anything for us, defend our flags, protect our ships, and die for us if necessary. Her hands, the working class, heartless, and the souls of the waters beat. Mine were the educated and schooled, the thinkers, the leaders, and fast on their feet. We set sail in different ports of our neighborhood, playing and hiding among the high waves of grasses on our block and the islands we called our homes. The fight would we have would be to the death. I trying to kill Sadie, my sister of the sea, and her mates, so they could do no more. Alas, so fierce and feared, be it that day or night, men bowed and gave up their souls without a fight to her. She, Sadie of the winds, would try to take the thunder and all the treasures in its whole, priceless things that were made of silver and some of gold. There were emeralds and rubies that that darned our women's necks. She would kill the men and sink her boat as if we had never been. We were close to the shoals of the islands of the bones, where spirits haunted the corals of the reef. Then out of the blue, the sloop rammed us through and through, boarding us with sabers and guns in hand. By us, not a cannonball fired, not a pistol, not a sword drawn. My crew gave up without a fight, kneeling and praying to a woman and not a man. She slaughtered them on the deck of the boards, then threw their bodies overboard to Davy Jones's locker, a sailor's tomb at the bottom of the sea. When you're thrown there, you say nothing more. Sadie grabbed me and the treasure box of our nation's greed, then said I could swim with the sharks and dumped me into the ocean and its breeze. It was a battle that was always remembered. How the girl, the pirate Sadie of the winds, defeated her older brother without a fight and took the treasures of the thunder, stolen from you and me.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for DG Clear.
That was dope, man.
DG,
I
woo!
miss that storytelling, man.
Great.
Bring
I
that.
miss
GG, nice.
Storytelling.
That was dope.
I'm
I was not sure how we were going to do with this theme when I created it, but the community's going in. I love it. I love it. All right. Real quick, because I know some people came in here late. Let us take care of some business real quick. As I had mentioned, this is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube, and you will find this live stream or recordings of our past shows, including this one. And of course, you can find me online for all kinds of goodies at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that's with AZ because poetic license. Tonight's open mic list is closed. If you would like to sign up begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to www.neweurekan.org and you click on full events calendar. When you get there, you would click on the Monday you're signing up for. So on Sunday in 6 days, you would click on September 27th, that Monday, and you would order an artist RSVP ticket. It is the only way to get on the open mic list, getting an artist RSVP ticket. Now, because we have had so many issues with people being able to get on because of the popularity of this open mic, which I adore, we have had to change some rules. Rules go into effect next week. Today doesn't count. Next week, the new rules go in. One of them is, from now on, our poets will only have 3 minutes to perform. Tonight is the last night of being able to rock for 4 minutes. We're bringing it down to 3 minutes so we can make sure we get more poets on every night. Also, we are now going to be timing the intros, so they only have about 30 seconds for intros. That does not count me talking. I know sometimes I talk and I can ask you questions. I'm not going to hold that against you. When you hear me say, share your social media information and then rock out, and I mute you myself, that is when your 30 seconds will begin. Also, I skipped something. Also, poets are not going to be able to perform or read on consecutive weeks. We're stopping that so that we can open up the list so we can get more poets to perform. We are looking to get like 60 to 70 poets performing every 2 weeks. And if you do sign up and not show up, we are going to count that as a performance because you took up a slot. But if you're on the waiting list and I don't call your name, then it doesn't count. You can sign up that next week. Also, want to let you know, the rules for Monday night do not apply to Thursday. La Bruja will have her own rules on Thursday night. Right now, the rules haven't changed on Thursday night. Sign up as many times as you want And whatever you do on Monday, it's not going to affect Thursday. Whatever you do on Thursday is not going to affect Monday. Another thing that we're adding is starting in October at the end of the month, the last Monday of every month, each performance will have a 2-minute time limit. We did that a couple of weeks ago. We got like 43 poets on, and it was great. It was just like pop, 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 real quick. The people loved it. And I figured we could get even more poets on if we do that at the end of every month. Again, that will start next week. If you signed up tonight, you can sign up next week, because that is when it is. So everyone rocking tonight, you can try to sign up next week if you want. You're just going to have 3 minutes to do so. With that being said, let me stop this share and let us get Zachary Anderson White into the building. And now we're going with Vexed Lex. Hold on. All right, Lex, are you vexed tonight? Should I warn the people?
No, I'm not vexed.
Oh, you in a good mood. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm in a good mood.
Everyone is safe. I want to let you know everyone is safe. Lex is not vexed. All right, with that being said, you know the deal. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's get into it.
All right. You can find me on Instagram at VexLexPoetry. So I have 2 pieces tonight. One is on theme. This is called Letter to the Younger Me. To the younger me who never wanted to be, tantalized by misery, found herself existing, resisting the urge to let the dark clouds smother her. I can only tell her that she will manage to somehow break through when the odds say otherwise, and her cries will not be in vain. I know it's hard to believe, you may scoff, because when the days are off, nothing else seems to matter. But listen to me when I say, the pain of not feeling good enough will come back in waves that you will learn to swim through. Be brave. I know it's easier said than done, and despite what you may think, you are more capable. You will soon learn to no longer flee. I know this because you are me. And my last piece, I took a shot at doing a Shakespearean sonnet for this theme. So let's see how this goes. It's called Sonnet for the Amateur Pirate. She rules the 7 seas under the sky blue. I want to show her 7 knees. Her performance she will see right through. Under the blanketed stars, I am after more than just her loot. A journey that by far has proven to be worth the pursuit. I listen closely to her siren call. There are others on my tail, that on my hands and knees I would crawl if it meant I could prevail. Better than any treasure one could easily scheme, for she is a pirate's moonlit dream. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Vex
That was
Lex.
dope. That was dope.
Yes,
That was
Vex.
dope.
Very
I really
nice.
like that. Vex.
Oh,
So good.
amazing
Oh,
sonnet.
right there. I like
Amazing.
it. I like it.
Bring that.
Or Sonics. Vex Lex. Vex, make sure you put your info in the chat, which she just did. Vex Lex Poetry on Instagram. That's where you can give her a follow. I love it. We are having a good night so far. And you know, I knew we were going to have a good night. I had a rough day. Every time I have a rough day, I know we're going to have a special night. So I knew we're going to have a special night. And I also know we're going to have a special night because our next performer, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, who I got to see a little bit last week, got to me and Letters. We got to see Ron. He is now ready to perform. I'm loving the eye patch. Ron, though, I just want to make sure like that's just for show. We're good, right?
That's a good question. No, remember when you saw me on Friday, you beat the crap out of me, you know?
You told me you weren't going to tell anyone. I said sorry. You told me you weren't going to tell anyone. Ron. No, I would never hit Ron. Ron is a good dude.
No, and you were great. Thank you for, you just said you had a bad day. I had a bad week last night. Those 5 minutes we spoke and we chatted, and I saw your son. It was just the highlight of my day. So thank you so much, for this. I appreciate you very much. And the eye patch, after my performance, I'm going to take it off because it turns out it hurts and I can't read with my right eye. So I'm like, so thanks for the reminder. I have to go to the eye doctor, So. It's very good. All right, so quick introduction. I'm Ron Mark Thompson on 3 different platforms, social media platforms. This week I'll be with 3 different organizations. Wednesday I'll facilitate an arts and crafts and poetry workshop with Wordz. Thursday with my own organization, Bronx Art and Fun Hub, I'll host a photography showcase. And later that evening with Fincapillary, both Ed Poetastic and I will guest co-host the open mic that evening. The theme of that evening will be fictional characters. Yeah, and talking about themes, Advocate, pirate, really? I mean, I didn't want to write it, but I think when I saw you last week on Friday, you put a spell on me and like, okay, I'll write something, so here we go. Pirate. I was looking to see what rhymes with that word. Sadly, there were not many matches. Spirit or merit rhyme a little bit with pirate. Carrot almost sounds like it, or maybe inherit, but none seem to be much related. So I will not use rhymes here today. Instead, I ask, who is a pirate really? Does the word refer to Jack Sparrow searching for Elizabeth Swann, or those real pirates hunting for treasures hundreds of moons ago? How about those in the present in the Indian Ocean, conquering our Amazon container shipments coming from Asia? Or those sad, lonely internet trolls in their parents' basements, stealing our sanity and uncovering our digital skeletons we were sure would never see the light of day? Okay, allow me to add the government, which for 4 years robbed our country and allowed us to willingly put on the throne the biggest wannabe pirate our land has ever seen. All that civility he stole, our freedom he took. But thanks to him, at least I hope, we all got some sensibility back, so maybe he was a good pirate after all. Switching gears, talking to my future lover, will I be a pirate when you come into my life and I will steal your heart? Because I don't want to go through my remaining days without you on my side. Or when you will steal my innocence and take away my ability to breathe without you. Okay, let me stop being personal here. How about I extend my pirate term to the cafe? You stole and continue to steal our Monday and Thursday evenings. We willingly come here each week writing feverishly to the latest theme, no matter how silly, no matter how challenging. We are eager, wanting to read our lines regardless if they were well thought out or just rushed for the night. Maybe we are pirates ourselves, having captured our imagination. Some of us dress on Halloween like one. We battle when we need to. Many of us hold our liquor when asked for, just like pirates do. Or I'll go further. I'll blame my smileys. They are probably the biggest pirates. They stole my sadness. They took away my frown. They make me giggle even when I don't want to. They make my heart feel more fulfilled. So I conclude, smileys are the biggest pirates of them all. And face masks are their biggest enemies because you cannot see them, you cannot see us smile. Maybe face masks are the new eye patches. Or maybe I'll put something else on my patch. Watch out everyone, smileys are everywhere, those damn smiley pirates. And I'm not going to add my 2 shiny, bright ending lines tonight because I'm afraid the pirates will steal them outright. The end.
Unmute yourselves, give it up.
Good
for
stuff.
Ron.
Thompson, that was great. Got to be careful.
So
Always amazing,
Good
Ron.
Good job.
Ron Mark Thompson, Bronx Art and Fun Hub. Did I get it right? My dyslexia, I got it right. Bronx Art and Fun Hub. Make sure that you go and you check them out. Doing a lot of awesome things over there. I always appreciate Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. And did you know, I had looked this up. Did you know that the reason pirates wore eye patches is because they'd be out on the seas and the light would be so bright that when they go into the ship, they wouldn't be able to see. So what they did is they'd cover one eye, keep it in the dark, so that then when they went into the ship, they could just lift the patch and they could see. I didn't know that. I thought it was because, they were gangster and they were fighting and someone lost an eye. No, it's not that cool. It's very different. Nonetheless, I still like it. Ron Mark Thompson, appreciate you, brother. And I always appreciate you going the extra mile and, abusing your smileys for our entertainment. With that being said, next coming up, we have a special treat for you. Not only does Boraku do some videos with their poetry, but our next poet does. Vale Larkin from Pittsburgh. Now, Vale has a spinal disability causing vocal issues. So here are two videos and an audio file that Vale had created. All three are from their cycle, Invincible Moments, and they are read by Tula Beardman. Did I say that right, Vale? No, Biederman. I'm sorry. Tula Biederman of Nomadic Press. Shout out to Nomadic Press. They do open mics on Fridays. Got a lot of love for them. Shout out to Nas. And with music by Doors in the Labyrinth. Now, Vale, I gave you the ability to share, so you should be able to do that. Awesome. And make sure you share the sound too. Do you know how to click to make sure you share the sound as well? Vale's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm professional. I'm sorry. Okay, Vale, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Last summer on the lake. She was reading to me on the bluffs above the shore, The Last Unicorn, and the sun on her hair and the light off the water filled my heart with gold. The sky over the water was streaming, yellow, purple, rose, and blue, rising in towering battlements above and within the skin of the lake. But in the depths, the red bull roared, and wave foam wept, and all the butterflies burned out. Everywhere around us, eyes gazed upward to see phantom dragons, rampant in the clouds, flaming the sun down the sky. I alone looked down, watching her, turned away and up with all the rest, and I knew in that aching moment that all our dreams would flee as she followed them upward, inevitably, as I wandered, earthbound and pathless. I heard the sky tolling the end of our story. Her face, rose gold, and my heart pulled from me, reaching its desperate tendrils out, and always toward her, grasping the last strands of our fairy tale, weaving them into the deep fabric of myself before she slipped away. City on fire. We flew down the road at the speed of the music. We were high as eagles, chemicals coursing, and the laws of the world were unwieldy and tedious. We rebelled, boarding the currents to carry us onward. We revolted, revolving in space, time, and landscapes beyond. I saw ahead the skyline of the city, and it was stained with streaming red and arsenic flames, a conflagration massive as stars. You did not look up. One voice says, grasp tight to the rider, pale and promising, burn with the great fire. I almost caught his cloak. But then the second voice says, this too may be delusion. Lay back, wind to catch you. Sleep in the arms of this world as the old one ashes away. Church of All Gods. They didn't matter, the vaulted halls and the aged hymnals, worn by devotion, pages softened to tissue that would dissolve like wafers if I tasted them. Still, there was a special kind of fire that poured through stained glass into that glory of voices, and a ravishing reverence the singing revealed. It would have been the same with any deep, rich, stirring sound in that place. It would have been the same breathless wonder, gathering here, in a space made for magic. In the golden haze, we were all the same, iridescent and elevated. Eyes through the ceiling and not on our fears, we reached for heaven in union. They didn't matter, the whited priests and the aged worshippers worn by their worries. The light illuminated what it touched, zealot and heathen alike, and the music gave voice to all the voiceless.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Vail Larkin.
My goodness, that was
Love
incredible.
that.
Everything.
Truly,
That was
that was
magnificent.
nice. That was nice.
Super, super real. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Vail Larkin on Facebook, Vail Larkin on Instagram. Go give them a follow. Vail is a beast of a writer. And of course, as I had said in the intro, unfortunately, Vail is dealing with some issues concerning their voice. So Vail has found a way to still share their poetry this way, and I'm all here for supporting it. Much love and appreciation to you, Vail. Make sure you go give Vail a follow. Beast of a writer. Vail was also the first person to perform at our hybrid open mic via Zoom. That's it. You know, when you do something first, that's it. You written into the history. You woven into the history. So I got a lot of love for Vail. And I got a lot of love for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's teams don't seem to beat my sports team, so I'm okay with Pittsburgh. Next coming up is a man from wait, is it Toronto you from or no?
It is Toronto.
Oh yeah. Right now the Toronto Blue Jays doing better than the Yankees. So I don't. Wait a second, I don't recognize you. Who is that?
I don't
with
recognize
the beard and the face?
I don't recognize me either. What do you do?
I just recognize Pinky behind you. That's it. Mr. Jeff Cottrell. Jeff, it is good to see you, brother. Let the people know where they can find you online. And then you got 4 minutes to rock out.
Okay, I can be found at jeffcottrell.com and on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to do a piece that Advocate says he's never heard, but I'm not so sure. And it's on theme because there is a space pirate mentioned in it. So I kind of took George Lucas and Peter Gabriel, and I had them do unspeakable things in a bush, and came up with this. May 25th, 77, when the Star Wars movie'd come, it was business as usual for galactic bounty scum. Oh, Greedo, 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 Greedo. Oh, Greedo, 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 Greedo. Give him money, or Han is dead, or Han is dead. Do 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 do. When he hit Mos Eisley to collect old Jabba's pay, Solo fried him with one blast and buggered off to the docking bay. Oh, Greedo, Greedo, Greedo's Greedo. Oh, Greedo, Greedo, Greedo's Greedo. Payback Jabba, or Han is dead, or Han is dead. Do 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 do. You can shoot down a smuggler, but you can't shoot down the Force. Not that Greedo had a chance, Solo creamed his ass, of course. Oh, Greedo, Greedo, Greedo's Greedo. Oh, Greedo, Greedo, Greedo's Greedo. Kuna chuta, now Greedo's dead. Now Greedo's dead. Do 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 do. And the eyes of the world So Han shoot first. Han shot first. Rito.
Unmute yourselves for Jeff Cottrell.
Yay, bravo,
Amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Let's Go is an amazing song. That was an amazing take.
I loved it. Listen. Han did shoot first. Han shot first. Shout out to Jeff Cottrell, jeffcottrell.com. I love me some Star Wars. You included in some poetry. That's what's up. My lady likes Star Wars as well, so I am sure she enjoyed it as well. Shout out to Mariella Salazar. Oh my God, Jeff. I loved it. I love it. And I'm loving the new look. We're gonna have to get you a new nickname. Scruffy Jeff or something. We'll come up with it. jeffcottrell.com. When you spell Cottrell, it is with 2 L's. All right. Next coming up is the woman who can no longer do wrong. She did wrong for a couple of months because we didn't know where she was. And then Jenna Fleeson. Jenna, I am so happy that you are back with us. I know I am selfish and I want everyone to give up their lives to be here, so I appreciate you being here. You know the deal, Jenna. Tell us where we can find you online, and then you got the floor.
Okay, you guys can hear me all right? Okay, I had some problems earlier today with my headphones, but okay, good. Yes, you guys can follow me at Jenna's Poems. Also drop the link to my Amazon book. This is actually some new shit. I wrote it earlier today. This is called Write or Die. The fact that I haven't written in nearly 3 months is scary. Absolutely daunting. And as a poet, you know, the fear of your writing not being good enough is far less than the fear of, God forbid, no longer writing. Not writing is kind of like skipping on your therapy appointment, making some excuse as to why you can't attend. I think, well, what if I don't want to write no more? I'm done using my heart as the ink to the pen. I wonder how many times should I put it on a platter? But after all, isn't that what we writers do? Time and time again, offer it out of your chest, give up the most important gear of the mechanism that literally keeps our life going. Because without vulnerability, us writers are just merely dying. And as afraid as I am that I'll never write again, I'm luckily more afraid of dying. Yes, so that's a short one for you guys. That's all I have to offer today. But thank you guys so much.
That was a wonderful offering.
Give it up for Jenna.
What do you mean that's all? What do you mean that's all?
Wow.
He's so good.
That was
awesome.
incredible.
Talking about that was pretty dope.
Thank
Jenna's
you.
Poems on Instagram. Make sure that you go give Jenna a follow, especially now that Jenna's no longer doing wrong and she's back with us. I hope everything is well, Jenna. I love seeing you. You know I'm selfish. I love seeing your face and hearing your poetry. Jenna Fleeson. I really do love this community. I don't like when y'all leave, but I like when y'all come back. Okay, next coming up, we have Generalissimo. I haven't seen Jeremy. Oh, he's right there. Let me unmute him. Mr. Generalissimo. And I have met this man in person. Who he is on Zoom is who he is in person. Love this dude. General, you know the deal. Where can we find you online? And you got 4 minutes to rock out.
I am at, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to put it all in the chat and I'm just going to read my poetry if that's okay. Let me go ahead and pull up my file. You know, I did do something for you just now for the theme, for the pirate theme. I've been forced to walk many planks in my lifetime, yet have never drowned. That's my pirate haiku. So the next 3 pieces I just added to the book that I'm putting together for Marissa. It's called Everything I Think Is All in My Mind, but this poem is called The Puppy Dog That Ate a Bulletproof Vest. My chest hair is made of saw teeth. One day I woke and the sheets were shredded. Since my bed was a futon, cotton batting was batting around the room. There is no cure for this condition. I always wear a Kevlar vest in case I have to hug someone. My body created a defense system after my heart was broken one too many times. One that blocks everything that approaches my heart. Those saw teeth can't pick and choose what to shred. When the saw was manufactured, high carbon Japanese steel was melted and mixed with microscopic shards of diamond, then smelted and molded into a device, a tool that never needs sharpening and is dishwasher safe, which is the safest way to rinse away emotional residue. Too much emotion might make me cry, which can make life a little rusty, and unfortunately, I'm allergic to WD-40. I know I wasn't born when Murphy wrote his law, but maybe Murphy's law is a reason to believe in reincarnation. Maybe I think too much. Maybe I think with my heart more than I should. Maybe I should leave thinking to some other schmuck who doesn't know better. Unfortunately, it's too late to teach this puppy dog new tricks. My condition and disposition are incurable. The next poem is called Them Who Conspire Against People with Feet. I believe there is a conspiracy afoot between the manufacturers of shoes and the makers of shoelaces. Every time I buy new shoes, I tie them. There always seems to be at least a foot of shoelace left on each shoe. I double knot them, yet there is still enough shoelace left over that it is inevitable I will step on them. Anyone who has stepped on a double knotted shoelace knows that the bow gets pulled up, leaving an extremely tight knot that can only be unknotted by using a tiny screwdriver or the tine of a fork to unpretzel the impossible pretzel. New shoelaces can cost upwards of $3 or $4. What a profit margin, enough, I believe, for certain unnamed shoe manufacturers to get their kickbacks. And this is called the patron saint of damaged goods and excessive baggage. During the first great nervous breakdown, I purchased several prayer candles from a Jamaican-run store in Queens. The tiny storefront consisted of shelf after shelf of highball glasses with intricate drawings of saints filled with just about every color of wax. It was like walking into a rainbow. A woman explained how each candle could help me. A dozen patron saints filled my place with the aroma of paraffin and seduced me asleep with fumes of futility. Should I wake and knock one over, I would burn down the existence of another tenement. And after the wax was gone, I had acquired one funky set of glassware. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Advocate.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for
Brilliant.
Yes, Generalissimo. Next time.
Yes.
I really love that shoelace poem.
Yeah, I
That
love the
shoelace poem is brilliant.
Yes.
Love the haiku.
It's a conspiracy. And yes, and I love that haiku too. Generalissimo. Make sure you put your info into the chat, brother, so that people can follow you. Like I said, who he is on Zoom is who he is offline. Love this dude. Hopefully he gets to come down to New York City again and rock out with us. I had a lot of fun when he was down here. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to Whitney Salgado, who is checking in. She is not signed up, but she is checking in to listen to the people. I know, Whitney, it's crazy, right? Like, I don't forget you anymore. I got you. That's because I'm totally biased. Whitney did this sketch of me that is so awesome. And once the New York opens up again, I'm hanging it up in the New York. Shout out to her. Shout out to Noelia as well. She has rocked out with us here before. Noelia, I heard about your loss. My condolences to you. I saw it. She is also with Nomadic Press, which hosts an open mic on Mondays. You need to go, on Fridays. You need to go and check that out. Much love to Nomadic Press. I appreciate y'all so much. Assam Zane is in the building. Assam is a beast. Make sure that you go check out Assam Zane. He is on Twitter. And like I said, he has rocked out with us many a time. Shout out to him. I see Idionga in the building checking us out. What's up, girl? I know she runs home from after work just to listen to y'all. So y'all better be on your P's and Q's. This woman ran home for work to listen to you. And Zachary Anderson White, listen, Zach, you're not fooling anyone. You're only here to listen to Jenna, and we know it. We still love having you around, Zach. I hope all is good with you. So we have a bunch of different people who have not signed up, who are in the room checking this out. And throughout the night, I'm going to be mentioning them, like Gwen C., who's not on the list, but she should be on the list. Gwen is another beast. And right now we're going to another beast of a poet, and that is Mia Aguilera. Let me unmute her. She will be rocking out our next hybrid event. I am waiting for the New York to let me know when we can start doing that again, but I'm going to let all of y'all know, and Mia will be there rocking. Mia, it's good to see you. You know the deal. Where can we find you online? And then the floor is yours.
Hi, poets. Good to see you again. You can find me on Instagram at Mia Sochi. I'll put that in the chat. I have a poem that I got published about a year ago. And I will link that in the chat if you want to look at the formatting, because I think it's a little cool. And also, I've noticed that Michael Sindler and I usually read back to back, so sign up, buddies. All right, here we go. This is called Xochimilco. I want to fly like Huitzilopochtli, sunlight shimmering on my hummingbird wings. Feel my heart pound so fast it does not beat but hum. On the canals, there is color. Red, green, blue, yellow, pink, carved wooden flowers saying, Soy dulce. A peacock takes flight. On a passing boat, abuelas croon Te he prometido, and I sing along as I wind into dusk. Light ripples on the water. I close my eyes. Lick the horchata off my chin. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give me some sugar to Mia Aguilera.
Yes, yes.
Damn. So
Nice read.
Every time.
Wow.
You're lovely.
Mia Aguilera, I love having her on. She is a friend of Sam Park. Of course, I wish Sam was around. She has been busy, but we appreciate Mia so much. Love having her on, and Mia can cut up a rug. Just want to let y'all know, I know we're not here to dance, but I've seen the woman dance. She can cut up a rug. Mia Aguilera. Mia, make sure you also put all your info in the chat so people can copy and paste and know how to follow you. Next coming up is her sign-up buddy, Mr. Michael Sindler. Let me unmute Mr. Michael Sindler, the man with some gorgeous hair. And now he's got a sign up, buddy. I mean, Michael, your legend's just growing.
Sign up, buddy. What a nice thing. And, right off the box, shocking. I'm going to go ahead and call out for lighthouseriders.org, a wonderful, wonderful organization that I cannot recommend highly enough. Just go check it out. See a lot of great things going on. That being said, don't have anything specifically piratey, so I'm going to go with let's go with a stolen heart. This is a U-shaped hole. You're still in my heart. Look, it's a U-shaped hole right here. See it? I tried to fill it in. It doesn't work. Whatever and whoever, they just slip right out, fall away. It's like that stupid fairy tale slipper made to order, too precise a fit for another foot. Why is that? My heart keeps beating, but there's a faint murmur, a flutter, a short stop, a pause for thought, an echo in the chamber. If you didn't know the sound, if you hadn't rested an ear to my chest so many times, if you were anyone else, you wouldn't notice, couldn't notice. It would seem as solid as any other, no missing form, exposing sore muscle in each ventricle, chambers of sorrow, a temporal disorder, a custom cabinet. You could slip right back into it, ease into the warm welcome. But we know better. Your home is not here. This U-shaped hole, always available, always unfilled. And from that, we're gonna take it in another direction. This one is called First Miracle. And this is a plausible explanation, whatever people say. JC hated con men and he hated liars. Okay, it was cool. The old man threw the party. He had filled everyone's cup with sweet wine a time or two, but now he was clearly holding out. JC had been in the back room before, knew what was back there. So when the old man said, "Hey, There's no more wine. Those are just big old water jugs. JC knew he was talking out the wrong side of his face. He knew there was fine vintage stuff inside. JC said, I tell you what, old man, I bet you I can turn that water into wine. JC popped open a jug and what he found was blood red fermented juice. Miraculous, eh? He asked, a faint smirk shifting his serene demeanor. The old man could only agree and fall at his feet in feigned amazement and adoration. The wedding guests, all amused, declared, best party trick ever. And so it was. And I think I have time for one more. We're going to go from the broken heart to a whole different take on women. This is Ode to Shekinah. Mother of all, we see you in all. Each rounded hill, your beating bosom, milk of your heart in each sweet fruit, your coursing power running through wave, wind, and earthly tremor, fierce, untamed mistress holding all life in gentle arms of green, your beauty bursting in infinite color, in infinite scent, in infinite texture, arousing all affection, all rush to valor. We ache in every aspect of our essence to once again be one with you. The deep womb of the grave itself only brings us closer to rebirth in new form. O Aphrodite, O Kali, O Avalokiteshvara, release your Shakti and your compassion. Only through you is life made true. Okay, thank y'all very much.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for
Nice.
Michael.
Nice,
stuff, Mike.
Michael.
Always
Very
wonderful.
nice, Michael. Very nice. So good. Thank you.
Michael Sindler representing lighthouseWriters.org. Make sure you go check them out. And if you want to know more about Michael, you're just going to have to come on the Monday night and the Thursday night to listen to him rock his poetry here. I know he goes to a bunch of different open mics and rocks it. You know, I mean, that hair is too beautiful to be committed to just, you know, one open mic. I understand. Don't feel bad, Mia. He probably has other sign-up buddies, but can you blame him with that hair? And the poetry, too. I love his poetry. I love his writing. Like I always say, we're going to start some campfire open mics, and we're going to have Michael Sindler be the feature. So real quick, we're about to get to Mary Blenderman. Right before we get to Mary, we want to shout out also Eric G in the building representing Brooklyn. I hosted on Thursday night for La Bruja, and Eric just like tore open his spirit and bled on the page, which a powerful poem. So much love to you, Eric. Also, Odin vs. Loki is here. Odin vs. Loki, always checking us out. I appreciate you so much. Finn Bell is here as well. Trisha De Jesus, love her. Make sure you go check her out. PHYNNE_BELLE. She's got her hands in a lot of cookie jars with open mics and different types of workshops and all different types of stuff. Make sure you go check her out. And of course, Elemental, my man, who is once again in another highlight reel. Look, I'm trying not to put him in there, but he do just be killing it all the time. You can check him out at elemental.com. When you spell elemental, take the T out and put the 2 in. And now we're going to Mary Blenderman. Mary Blenderman. Listen, I still have a few months before I can't say this anymore, so I'm going to soak it up all the time. My 2021 Valentine. I love Mary's writing. I love her approach to writing, all of that. She's also representing Pittsburgh. So, Mary, tell the people where they can follow you, and then let's hear your poetry.
Okay, it's all in the chat, and I'm going to add some links afterwards. And before I read, please join me in taking a deep breath in and out. I am safe. I am okay. I am allowed to rest, to dismount and step down from the carousel of doing, to lie down dizzy in the grass. Rest is resistance, I tell myself as my spine settles into the natural curve of the earth and the sky shines down a blue light that doesn't make my eyes ache. If I get nothing done today, I still belong to tomorrow. There's a bee kissing my knuckles, untouched by my failures. Or maybe they're not failures. Or maybe I am allowed to make mistakes. I'm craving tangibility like a flavor. Old-fashioned money in my wallet, a box of matches with a sliding drawer, a dishwasher I've never used. I'm not saving time. I am rediscovering the luxury of boredom, which is putting more soap on the sponge 3 times for 1 sinkful of dishes and inhaling tangerines every time. If I could go anywhere, I'd want to be right here with nothing to do. Content to sit next to myself, answer my own fears. To awaken, we must become aware of how much pain we are in. I am allowed to be honest and still clench my fist around regret for my narrow imagination, the chalk in my heart and gravel in my shoulders. Soft center, firm boundaries. I am allowed to be enough on my own. I am okay. I am safe.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Mary Blenderman.
Nice, Mary.
Wow, that's
I think I needed to hear that real badly. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that.
Rest is resistance. That's true.
Yeah. There are so many quotables there. MaryBlenderman.com. When you spell Blenderman, it is 2 N's at the end. And if you want to come back and listen to that poem again or to other poems we hear tonight, look up New Rican Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube. I always get to do that. I always come back and I listen to the shows and while I'm editing it. So make sure you check that out. And if those of you who are a little lazy to write things down, Mary just put her website into the chat. And also she is trying to help this organization that is giving out food and supplies, I believe, on Instagram. Look up rice.pgh. Does PGH stand for Pittsburgh? Is that short for Pittsburgh? That's what I mean? Okay. Usually it's PITT, but it's okay. PhD. Make sure that y'all go and y'all check that out. Oh my God, Mary is such a beast. I love having Mary. I love having Mary on. Okay. Next coming up, look at that. Mary threw me off my game. Propaganda Poets up next. Want to shout out Diane Ward, who is here in the building. We know I love me some Diane Ward. I got a hall pass from my lady for Diane Ward. So if Diane Ward's and her husband ever, they decide that it's not working out, woohoo! Advocate of Words is in there. Also, shout out to Terry Rose Jertson, who is a Philadelphia Phillies fan. Not mad about it. Just they don't really do much to the Yankees. And I see Mr. Paul Conqueso stepped in. You could catch him at Paul Conqueso. When you spell queso, it's with a Q, Q-U-E-S-O-R, honey trap. All right, there's other people I want to shout out, but let us get to our poetry with Mr. Propaganda Poet. Wait, I saw him here earlier. Where is he? Where's Propaganda Poet? Did he leave? He was here before. Maybe he got booted out. Okay, I will look for him and come back to him if we can't find him. I hope all is good with him. So that means we are going to Gina Neppa's spot, who she switched with Mr. Andy Markert. Let me unmute Mr. Andy Markert, who has been killing it of lately. Usually he always kills it though. So, brother, how are you, sir? Let the people know where they can find you online and then let's hear your poetry.
Oh, I'm doing all right. You can find me at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's on Instagram. You can also find Propaganda Poet under Bard Juan Abbey here in the list of people. His head's a little further down, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go. I've got some new shit for you all tonight. I just got one. I haven't actually read this out loud, so we're gonna see how it plays and just give it a whirl. This poem is called Triangulate My Desire on This Map so that I too can find home in the dark. I was a Boy Scout once, if you can believe it. There was a time I could look up at the stars and kind of, sort of, maybe lie to you about where we were. Some nights I wonder if the stars knew where I was, if the Big Dipper was just another lie, if the North Star actually showed you north, or if the shiny things are all we've ever leaned on to provide any direction at all. Don't worry. I love a good filter too, the kind that makes my body glisten in ways my soul does that you'd never be bothered to see. If I shine enough, does that mean I'm worth looking up to? She wraps her arms around me, warm like sunlight. I see streaming through a window, and suddenly I'm every open field I ever let myself actually see. It's hard to hike when all you can look at is the ground. I spent so many years looking in the mud, wondering if the next step I took might be the one that sucks me back down. I hardly ever look up. When I say I look up to you, you are the first beautiful thing I've ever trusted to guide me. When your eyes sparkle, it's the first reflection of light it's the first reflection of light I've ever allowed myself to bask in. As I orienteer my life to my own desire, for the first time this body has ever been its own compass, ever been its own north. I wonder if you knew, if you'd already known how to draw the map. I wonder if your hands had measured the topography of me long before you met me. You already seem to know where home is, that place I've never been able to find. Now, the sun is brighter than ever, and home just over the next ridge. Thank you guys very much.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Andy Markberg.
Really nice.
Damn it, Andy. Damn it, Andy.
Thank you.
Melted my heart.
At Andy Meerkat, when you spell Meerkat, that is with 2 T's at the end. Make sure you give this dude a follow. I love having Andy on. I'm sorry Gina couldn't make it tonight. Gina Neppa is a beast. But I'm not mad about Andy. Andy is all kinds of awesome. Love having him on. At Andy Meerkat, make sure you give him a follow. Quick shout out to Mr. Thomas Connor. Me and Thomas, unfortunately, we enjoy baseball, but there's no baseball season. Right, Thomas? I don't know. There's no Major League Baseball season going on this. It's football season. That's all we know about. He's a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. It's been a rough one. Shout out to Ron Bremner as well, checking this out. Lisa Cooley also checking this out. I really like Ron Bremner's avatar and picture. Looking real cool in that jacket. And I think I already shouted out Poetical, but if I didn't, I'm going to shout him out again. Poetical, I love having you on, brother, checking in from Japan. So Propaganda Poet, apparently, a.k.a. Bear Wolf, a.k.a. a new name. He is on the run from the law, so he has to keep changing his name. He is here in the building. But where's his video? I don't see him now. I don't see him.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Shout out to Ray Camacho, who is my co-host, and he jumped in and caught that.
Go Ray. And shout out to Andy for the shot. Thank you for the poke there. That was amazing. You are the man. Thank you, everyone tonight has been fucking amazing, and I love that we're moving forward. We're gonna get more poets, so I'm gonna take a break for a couple weeks. I'll be here to support, but I want to see all these new voices and new people, and I love the new format. So tonight I wanted to introduce you to another friend of mine, another performer here at Changeling Studios. And so without further ado, the first time ever at the New Yo open mic stage, please welcome. Good evening, my lords and ladies. 'Tis I, Bard Wannabe. Now, you may be tempted to pronounce that one Abby, but you would be incorrect, as you would be lacking the ever-present, the ever-important whoosh. So, without further ado, I, Bard Wannabe, shall now share some music with you. I hear that you're speaking of scallywags and rebels today. So first, a quick small story and then a song. I recall a time when a pirate captain was forced to walk the plank. And as he walked out there, he walked boldly with the captain's wheel hanging from his belt buckle. And he said, "Captain, why do you have your wheel on your belt buckle?" He said, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." So, without further ado, here's a little song that I would like to dedicate to all of you, my bardic performers, and all the wonderful things that you do to keep the world a better place. This is for all of you. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mists in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff. He brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuffs. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sails. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble heirs and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. "I'm Puff, the magic dragon, and I live by the sea, and I frolic in the autumn mists in a land called Honolulu." But dragons live forever, not so little boys. Giant wings and magic things make way for other toys. One grey night it happened, Jackie Paper played no more. Puff, that mighty dragon, simply ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Little Jackie, all grown up, no longer came to play. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. But that is not the end of the story, boys and girls. No, that is not even the most important part of the story. The most important part of the story is that Puff the Magic Dragon, he lives in you and me. He frolics in our imagination and in our creativity. And little Jackie Paper, well, he's also you and I. So spread those wings and live those dreams and never let them die. Puff the Magic Dragon, he lives by the sea, and he'll live there forevermore. It's up to you and me. Thank you all for encouraging my behavior.
Encourage this man's behavior with some love.
That was amazing. Bravo, bravo.
Tremendous. I love you all so much.
Everything about that. That was great. That
He
was
came
great.
full away, man. He came full.
And the poet, find him on Facebook, Bear Wolf. Love this dude. Oh, I love it. I love it. Tonight is lit. Noelia had put in the chat, tonight is lit. It totally is. Love it. And shout out to Ray Camacho, who's co-hosting, and he made sure it's like, no, Propaganda's here. I see him. He unmuted him. You can find Ray at Ray Did This. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, I'm enjoying this night. Let's keep it going. Even though we are having a great time right now with the open mic, we are going to leave the open mic and go into the skip verse with Mr. Paul Skiff, the New Eureka Poets Cafe OG. Paul, it is always a pleasure to see you and hear you. Let the people know where they can find more of you, and then take us to the skip verse.
Hi, everybody. I just been posting most recently on Instagram as Skiffgram. I have a little piece up there about the proprietor of Facebook, actually. Anyway, I have a very short thing. It's not very rigorous poetry, and it barely fits the theme only by its title, Pirate Song. I stole these clothes I'm wearing. I yelled back at the landlady until she stopped caring. Shelley, 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 spin the magazine on your 38. A man stopper with quick trigger uptake, perfect for the woman who never hesitates. Tell me the building owner doing 25 years in Jackson State. He wants cash. He wants cash, baby. He wants the rent in cash. Well, maybe I'll give you half the rent on the 10th in a postal money order. Or I could just walk over to the 6th precinct and let them know about the guy you installed in 2B who's cooking up product all afternoon. And hey, Shelley, I like the rose you got in your hair today. Asymmetric, looks good on you. I stole these clothes I'm wearing. I refuse to deflower Martha Johnson when her mother asked me to. Her mother was preoccupied by the knuckleheads in the neighborhood. Madre, 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 madre. You don't know your daughter's habits and tastes. She asked me to go downtown so it would boil her blood. She's got nothing to learn from the knuckleheads in the neighborhood. Ay, chica, so tight, so wet, so swollen. I stole these clothes I'm wearing. I drove the contraband interstate. I told the state trooper that pulled me over for speeding that he was gonna make me late. Corporal, 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 run my license through the database. The only thing that's gonna come up is I was a no-show for the special narcotics grand jury. If you wanna look back down the way towards Cincinnati, I'll drop a fat brick right on your back seat. Then maybe you'll see why this is called the freeway. Yeah, it's the freeway. I stole these clothes I'm wearing. I never struggled for these pleasures, they just came to me. Sent on the winds of the universe that sail through us all to set us free. So if you find yourself cornered with a decision to make, fill up with the breeze off the universe and you'll sail away with a big liberatory smile on your face. I stole these clothes I'm wearing. I'm free, baby. I'm on the freeway.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for
Everything
Wow.
you learned to expect. Beautiful.
Master Skiff strikes again.
PaulSkiff.com. You can check him out on Instagram, skiffgram.com. A New Yorican Poets Cafe OG. Love having this dude on. Want to quickly give a shout out to LaVon Robinson, who is checking us out. He said it's his first time listening to us, and I think he's come on in a good show. We doing awesome tonight, loving it. And of course, shout out to Mariela Salazar. The woman got my heart. I gotta shout her out, but I will leave her for Diane Ward, and she already knows that. She accepts that. Okay, let's move forward. Next coming up is Thunderlong. None other than Ray Jane. I love this woman. Ray Jane.
What's
How
going
are you,
on,
Ray?
family? I'm good. I'm good. It's great to see you.
Ray, did you happen to see the highlights?
I did not see the highlights. I'm running from a class right now. I just knew I had to get up in here. That's what I
Oh,
knew.
okay. So then at the end, later on tonight, you can check it out. All right. You need to check. That's all I'm gonna say is you got to check out the new one, Thirst Trap. With that being said, you know the deal. Where can we find you, Ray? And then light 'em on fire.
Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for the space as always. You can find me at itsrayjane.com. Find all the links to all my stuff there. I'm gonna get right into it so we can get to everybody else. I just finished this, so I hope you like it. It's not long, but it's potent. It's entitled Pirate What? Pirate Who? This booty ain't free. Assets can't help but shake, earthquakes of favor in my wake, tidal waves of accumulated luxury. Shipping fresh, sweet sop of substance, your wicked energy goes to ground on my jetties. Ain't no maps to these rubies, come for me, find out my land is just as treacherous as my seas. I got monsters of grace grazing on what can't be conceived. Snatch gold from me? Nah, you got to catch me if you can, but I'm the fastest thing moving on this breeze. You see, with this much abundance, saying that I'm blessed is redundant. And I ain't talking bank funds, it's bigger than blank checks. My ancestors elongated this neck with rings of nobility. You ever see a queen drip? Humility, opals of opulence drop from earlobes, got plenty in my stores. Buy up your whole globe. This rich affluence influence is potent pores of indulgence filled my pores with wet wealth wonders. Overflowing waters in my youth, perfumes of affluence pungent with my truth. I got riches in these steps. Don't nothing shake like this thing. Such a powerful queen. I'm also a king. My God is a woman sometimes, and she conquers all things. No questions in my belongings. Daddy stays stacking bands for who presents worthy of this hand. My dowry stay full. Ain't no black sheep. I keeps my wool. Can't jack me. Got my eye on the sparrow. Don't no pirate want this smoke. I got that ooh-wee up under my cloak. Lift my head and dare to whip it to provoke. Throw your pirate off my plank. Invoke the riches of my yoke. Remember how my folk, even when I'm broken, I revoke any notion that I could ever be plundered, that any other could ever make me broke. Thank you.
Ooh, give it up for Ray
Yes.
Jane. Oh,
That's
my
dope.
Ray Jane.
That's all right.
I'm so
Very
glad
dope.
I
That's just
Performance.
Oh, man,
Beautiful.
the ship just ran aground because that storm hit it.
Jane and me got something coming soon.
Woo. Bop, 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 Ray Jane. You can check out her website. It's rayjane.com, itsrayjane.com. And from there, you can find all her social media links, including her SoundCloud, where you can hear more of her poetry. And of course, like I said, go check out my YouTube. Ray Jane's on it in the highlights. Even though she was busy, she didn't get to check it out. I know she'll check it out later. I love the fire she brings. It's rayjane.com. Make sure you check out her website. Now we are going to our brother in India, Unmesh Mohika. I love this dude's poetry and energy. Wait, I saw him. There he is. There he is. Look at it. Look at it. Always bringing the fire. Always bringing the fire. Always giving every syllable its just due. I love it. Unmesh, let the people know they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Hello, advocate. Hello, everyone. You can find me on Unmesh Mohitkar, Facebook and Instagram. I have got a book on Amazon, Light Shadow Life, and I've got open mic every Saturday, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. That is 10:30 New York time. Okay, here we go. This is something which I wrote on the topic. Okay. Broken, sinking ship, standing alone. Like lifeless hope floating on the lively sea waves. The pirate hanging to the last plank available. The killer machine getting killed by unforgiving forces of nature. They ruled the seas. They ruined the shores, defaced the kingdom, shattered lives, fought battles for money, fought battles for nothing. In the end, they were fighting just for fighting. Now they were fighting for their own lives. None to mention them in the history. No one to tell their hideous story. When they started, they had families. Few of them still have families now. None belong to any family. Salty waves have taken the taste out of their life. Their spicy life bringing tears in the eyes. The island far away, which they rule with an iron fist, still looks inviting, beautiful, peaceful, serene. Agony of something so near but so far was burning like bonfire of hope in the pirate's mind. The island belonged to them. They never belonged to the island. They never understood the music of ruffling wind, the never-ending rows of coconut trees inviting them to come back. Yes, the pirates will come back in different shapes and sizes, different face and guises. The island is there for them to welcome the unwelcome visitor. Some things in life refuse to change, but the island has to remain an island. Back-breaking waves, breaking the trust and vows, not going to affect the island. Island will remain an island. The pirates will remain pirates. Nothing changed. Life thrives as always. Beauty in love with insane, deranged. Beauty in love with insane and deranged. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Unmute yourselves, give love
Oh
to
my
Umesh
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Umesh Mohedkar. Make sure you go give him a follow. He's got his own open mic he does, and I love it. It's like he's just so excited to share poetry. I love that energy. I love it. Thank you, Umesh. I always appreciate you getting up early and joining us so much. Make sure that you go give this dude a follow. Next coming up is Kawana James, aka Miss Attitude. She burnt it down last week, and I am happy that she is back. That is it. She is hooked. Kawana, you are hooked. You are going to be here every Monday. We're in your blood now, and we love it because you're in our blood. Let the people know they can find you online, and then let's get into it.
I'm on Facebook as Kawana James, the totally adult spoken word artist and storyteller. I have 2 poems for you. Neither one of them is really about the theme, but I'm going to make them about the theme. The first one is about what a pirate might ask you in my response, and it's called Hell to the No. I need to write a book, might do it too, but no one would believe it's true. Ever have anyone asked to pee on you? I have, and I laughed. I thought they were playing, but they were serious. And for me, that was the end of us. I know people have their fetishes, their desires, but when he asked me that, it put out all the fire. Pee on me? Is you crazy? You pee on me, I'll kill you. Stop. Let me leave this alone because it's too far left and it ain't right. Don't get me wrong, no judgment, but if you want to live, have the ability to pee on others, you damn well better not pee on me. That's the first one. The second one is a poem about what ladies should do when they run into a pirate. It's called Games and Clowns. The game of clowns goes like this. The clown thinks he's down, but he's really just a hound, a dog who barks but makes no sound. He brings nothing valuable to the table except some marbles from out of his own head. I told you he was stupid. That's what makes him a clown. He takes his marbles and throws them down. No one wants his scraps. Man, this ain't craps. He tries to clap back, says, girl, you whack. You hear that? Who says whack? Only a clown with a big red frown turned upside down, with his big red nose and big boat shoes. Get him in bed, he'll make you snooze. You think with that big nose and big shoes, it would be big too. Nope, you've been fooled by a clown full of game with marbles for brains. And girl, it's a shame. He thinks he's great when he ain't. How do you win at the game of clowns? Sit and listen how. If you need to, write it down. Let him go down first. Then tell him you have a thirst. Get up. Let him think you're getting something to drink. Instead, get out of that bed, run away. Real talk, run. Don't walk, retreat. Back to the goddamn streets. Get in your car and from afar, yell, bye, clown. Now the game is over and done, and you won. Thank you, Miss Attitude, for all the pirates out there.
Dope ass pieces.
I love that attitude.
And attitude, amazing attitude.
Jump in my car.
Wow.
I love Kawana's energy. Of course, she representing the Bronx. I know she's not in the Bronx right now, but I remember she's from the Bronx. Still, you can leave the Bronx, but the Bronx won't leave you. Kawana James, aka Miss Attitude. I love having her on back-to-back weeks. I appreciate you so much. Okay, next coming up. I said he wasn't on the list. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just feeling bad for him because we are both in sorrow that there was no Major League Baseball season this year. And that is my man, Thomas Connor. Thomas, let the people know where they can follow you online. And then let's get into it, brother.
Absolutely. You can find me at Thomas Connor, CONNOR on Facebook, and TAC7371 at Instagram. So I'm not on topic, but this is about a girl when from Brooklyn, and we she kind of having some health issues. So just remember, she was just a kid that I knew that we've kind of dated. So let's go. I was 10 when I fell in love with this girl from Brooklyn, Puerto Rican and Trini, beautiful young goddess, Catalina, her name. She was all Flatbush, Vanderveer Project, salsa, reggae, Mari Sparrow and Marley, Lavo and Ventura. She was Juve and Junkanoo wrapped up in the beauty of Fifth Ave. Afro Boricua, light-skinned like me. We held hands on a sunny Sunday afternoon in Vanderveer Park. Our hearts yearned for secret rendezvous. We dashed to the corner just to kiss. High cheekbones and amber, brown, beautiful, slightly stubborn hair. That's the other thing we shared. Perfectly matching her skin, she brandished with the hue of a goddess. She was birthed holy. I still remember her smile, teeth, 5th grade crooked, clothes, 81 fashion. She was a fly girl in living color. I walked to the corner sometimes with her, holding her hand. Pinky promises to never stray apart. This was our forever for 5 years. We parted on the 6th. Reluctantly, we bid it adieu. We had no choice in this. Her junior high school was Huddy. Mine was Marine Park. I felt emotions I never knew. We were young to this world. Didn't know a damn thing, yet we knew each other. And just the thought of her painted a better see you tomorrow type of excitement. Slowly, we smiled, kissed me, and walked away. Vanderveer House is her home, mine East 29th Street. She made me smile, even in her absence. I lost my boyhood and innocence with the crest of that smile. Then June came, last day of school. We walked together to the corner one last time, parting with a kiss on the cheek that fused into lips. Still remember her cherry scent, Nate. I lost my boyhood and innocence in all of her smile, in all of her inhale, her fragrance, new goddess born. I now wonder where she is, where she lives, who she is. Does she even remember one moment of that time? Hopefully, maybe, but who knows? Peace.
Ooh, I think that's my new favorite piece from Thomas.
Dope,
Dog.
dope, dope. That was dope, Mr. Connor.
Oh my God.
That's dope, my brother.
That was amazing.
In living color. Everyone here is equally kind.
Oh my God, Thomas Connor. You know what's gonna happen now after this show. Everyone's gonna go on Facebook and look up their crushes from when they were a kid right there. What are they up to? I want to know what they're up to now. Thomas Connor on Facebook. Go look him up. Ah, I love that piece right there. I love it. I love it. Mr. Thomas Connor, appreciate you, brother. It's football season. Let's smile. It's football season. Okay, next coming up, we have a new voice, and I hope I'm saying their last name right, Lila Illin. Did I say your last name right?
You got it.
Awesome. Lila, where are you located?
Right now I'm in New Jersey. I'm from South Africa originally.
Oh, snap. That's what's up, Lila. Okay, cool. So you saw how we do here. First, you let us know where we can follow you online, if you want the people to follow you online. And then after that, you got 4 minutes to share your poetry. Go ahead.
So it's Lila Illing everywhere. I'm on Instagram and Spotify. So that would be a good place to start. Since I'm new, I didn't know about the topic. So I'm going to be reciting a poem called Silence and Symphonies. And I wrote this from a place of realizing the good and bad that we can allow others to bring out of us. I stared at my tears form out of nothing, and I wondered about the science allowing them to be. As one was rolling down my cheek, obeying gravity, I thought about all the things that cannot be seen, but we know are there. Just like the symphonies that I've been writing out of thin air, tangerines, and chocolate hair. All the things that cannot be seen, I'm held together by 100,000 miles of blood vessels beneath the skin, and 12 notes repeating themselves inside of me. The only thing you didn't take from me. And so I take the thin air surrounding me, and I fill it with woodwinds and with strings, restoring the balance to the contrast of my reality. I'm giving birth to the unborn worlds that were always inside of me. And lately, I've been celebrating my most beautiful parts, being born out of my darkest anxieties, and all of the silence that you left inside of me. And that's the part that I like the most. You didn't know that? Good. You know, I stayed up again, thinking about how even the greatest of concert halls are punished back to silence as the crowd fucking leaves. And how nobody ever stopped and thought to call that a tragedy. And so I take a moment. I take this moment to celebrate the silence that's inside of me. As you breathe me out of your lungs back in my original form. Sorry. As you breathe me out of your lungs back in my original form, you breathe the storm out that's been brewing beneath your bones, and I learn to live without my baritone. You exhale, and I feel you turn me back into thin air, like I was never even there. Just like how the butterflies were only valid when you were the one feeling them, flapping themselves silly beneath your edible skin. But keep walking. It's hard enough living with myself now, knowing that I let my mind be touched by hands capable of silencing the symphonies inside of me back into thin air, like I was never even. Keep telling yourself that I was never really there, just like all the things that cannot be seen, but we know are there. I'm held together by 100,000 miles of blood vessels beneath the skin, and 12 notes repeating themselves inside of me.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Lila.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
You hear the chant, one of us. That means Lila, the people want you back. Awesome, Lila Illin. Make sure you go give her a follow. Loving the poetry, loving the delivery, and loving the eyes and loving the hair too. Loving it. Lila Illin. Make sure you come back. The people chanted it. They called it one of us. But you have messed up, Lila, because now your Mondays are ruined because you always got to be with us now. The people are not going to accept otherwise. Thank you for coming on. Oh, I always love hearing new voices. Next coming up is a gentleman. This is his third week with us, I believe, and I have pronounced his name incorrectly. It's Gustav Salas. Am I saying it right now?
You are saying it right, advocate of words. It is Gustav Salas, and I am here, ahoy, mateys, to bring you a tale of a pirate family, the pirate family Bush. I was able to get to George W. Bush's water bottle 45 minutes before he went on stage with enough LSD to make him tell the truth. This is the mental State of the Union address. Shh, I have a secret I must share. This is my true personal nightmare. You see, I'm out golfing with 41. That's my pa. We're some father and son. Now the whole dream I won't belabor, but suddenly my drivers turned to a lightsaber and off came his head with a single whack. I mistook Dad for Hussein of Iraq. The severed head in the 41 ball cap rolled across the green into a sand trap. I ran to it. What did I see? I was staring back at me. Now you can imagine my surprise at staring into my own eyes when suddenly Yoda, who's my caddy, is standing with me and the me who's my daddy. Yoda shakes his head when R2-D2 beeps. My alarm goes off and I have the creeps. Damn, it's another boring day. I never listen to a thing people say, but who like Yoda is much wiser? My national security advisor. She's educated so very nice. She's Dr. Condoleezza Rice. And she'll explain my nightmare. But she spoke of Freud, and I nodded as if I was aware. Then she's off on archetype and some young guy. And I want to understand her, and I really try to get a simple answer for a simple me, one that's not uncontradictory, just something clear and not so highfalutin. She's name dropping Joseph Campbell and Vladimir Putin. With so much talk, there's so little grasping, but what she said next left me gasping. Abel was killed by an angry Cain. She blew my mind like I was Kurt Cobain. She said that this was about Poppy, me, and brother Jeb. She lured me with her story to the center of her web. I'm president, and Jeb's just Florida governor. But I've always had the feeling Daddy liked him more. I feel like to Dad I'm some dumb fuck here thanks to Jeb in Florida and sheer blind luck. She said that this war was not about deterrence, but something so totally different she called transference. I hate Saddam like the father I cannot please, and my cognitive dissonance leads to y'all's unease. Thus, y'all be fighting in Baghdad so as to make peace with my dad. They are very ugly, Hussein and Osama, but I'm not afraid. Have you seen my mama? She hurt me, dog. She took it so far. She compared me to Lucifer, the morning star. Sure, I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. And I am taking advantage of 9/11. Okay, I'm the deceiver of the whole world. I'm the tempter. I'm the new Satan, known as the Saddam preemptor. And I'll not be cast alone into y'all's lake of fire, turning and turning in your widening gyre. I'm uncomfortable with all this maledictory. Condi calls this fear of Pyrrhic victory. Now, what's that? Still lost in the passionate intensity of sin. She explains to me that even if you win this battle, I might still lose my war. What the fuck would you be fighting for if I don't win re-election? I think of that and, well, there goes my erection. This worry almost makes war no fun. Will I get a second term when this war is won? Or will it end like for 41? The sins of the father revisited on the son. Pride cometh before the fall. So saddle up, lock and load. Next stop Baghdad, y'all. The whore of Babylon soon will crumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
Unmute yourself.
Oh,
Give
that
it
was
up.
good.
so
That was dope.
Awesome
Man, that was dope.
That was
I enjoyed every minute of that piece.
That was so good.
I love it. I love it. I love the energy that Gustav brings. Gustav Salas, not Gustav. I apologize about that. I am going to make sure that from now on I say your name right, especially when you bring fire like that. Florida, right? You're from Florida, right? Yep, he's out in Florida. Real quick, want to give a shout out to some people who came into the room late. Nick Rose, who had quickly just put on her video to say hello to everyone. Shout out to also Nicole Flulin. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Nicole. And also to our man, Catman Bill, who's here. And DG Clearing has some birthday cake out. Is that for yourself, DJ? Or is that for Nick Pelly Logos? Is that for Nick Pelly Logos? Who? Happy birthday, Nick. What? Did you just cook that up real quick and light it up? Look at that. Shout out once again to Nick Pelly Logos for his birthday. Okay, so I do not see NJ Helgeson here. I'm not sure if it's Naj or Nij or however they're pronouncing it. If you are here, message me. So that means we're going to go to another new voice, and that is Alexander Forsberg. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Awesome. Alexander, where are you located?
I'm in Queens right now.
Oh, okay. You in New York City. I'm
in New York City.
Wait, where you been? We've been doing this for 77 weeks.
I know, yeah. I know. I was just moved from Long Island. So I'm like, yeah. And this is my first time.
Oh, that explains it, Long Island.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm joking. All right, Alexander, let the people know where they can find you online. And you got 4 minutes to rock your poetry, brother.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I don't really have any online platforms or anything. So nothing worth following. So, yeah. Yeah, and this thing I wrote, it's not quite finished yet, but it's I'm from the desert originally, and so it's kind of about the Reds of the desert. Okay. Here at the center of a place of dry life and dry death, sharpened stones barely discerned from the gray ground they pierce, softened sand cooled and carried by a hollowing wind whispered from the wild reds of the canyon pass. Wild reds which streak these walls of earth like a brightened horizon, petrified into the solemn silence of the mountain's height, a towering gaze, a temple of indifference to me, of indifference to itself. Here in the pressing shade beneath, I find my palm lean across a patch of red, dry but with the cool life of clay. In its stillness, my palm pulls inward, and as it sinks, cool water rises from this patch. Water stained with wild red, a deep red, a thick red, like the blood of a flesh long forgotten. Swallowed into the softened sand, into the cooling red of the pooling water, my palm is taken to the touch of something sharp, to the tearing tug of thorns. I grasp this sting, a stinging stem within my hands, within that pool, within the grasp of that whispering wind of the canyon path. I let my own grasp tighten, and from this squeeze around this stinging stem stream silent sinews of my own blood, streaks of warmth threading through the cooling red of that earthen wound. I let my own gaze fix and peer more deeply into that pool that grasps my grasp, into that play of glare and shadow bending between the wild streams of warming and cooling red. And there I see silhouettes of a forgotten dream cast along the wall of a cave, echoing an Enochian tongue flashing forth in flickering flame, finding form in the relief of heads lain across dark stone, in the grinding of gravel against hardened feet, in the writhing rhythm of a distant drum, in the wild reds pulsating through a heart's beat, all catching the air and glistening in that whispering wind as they dance down through the canyon pass.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Alexander.
One of us.
Sweet.
One of
That just
us.
sounded like so much sweetness. Thank you,
on
Alexander.
us.
Thank you.
On
Alexander Forsberg. Alexander, the people want to see more of you. And since you don't have a social media handle, you're going to have to be here every Monday night now. Alexander Forsberg, love it. Thank you very much, brother. You survived Long Island. Props for that dude. Props for him. Okay, so we have gotten to everyone who is here on the guaranteed list. So we are going to get to the waiting list. Once again, our new rules go into effect next week, which means everyone who signed up this week, you can sign up next week. There's no problem. Next week, you're going to have 3 minutes to rock out. Once again, the new Monday night online open mic rules do not affect at all what goes on Thursday night. Even though we're both with the New Yo, we're going to have our own different set of rules. And one more time, I want to thank the community for supporting this change. We're trying to open it up so we can get more voices heard. I really appreciate that. So let us now go to Mr. Ed Poetastic, Ed Foreman. Happy we got to get to him here on the waiting list. He is a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. E, you know what to do, brother. Where can we find you online? And then give us that fire.
Sure, no problem, my protected brother. We need to help one another. All right. You can find me at Eddie Form on Facebook, and you can find me on EdForm92 on IG. Okay, let's get ready to start. Ahoy, advocate, ready to sail the seven seas, ready to be happy at ease and free, ready for a good old pirate shanty. Hope it gets everyone's very antsy. All right, my name is Ed Potastic. Hope everyone's feeling fantastic. Please give me the time to enjoy my rhymes so you can feel sublime. All right, here's my Potastic chime. This is called Anything for My Mermaid. I sail the most furious tide, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I skin the most ugliest hides, oh, anything for my mermaid. I even swim to the other side, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. Riches and love I can provide, oh, anything for my mermaid. I slayed a monster 12 feet wide, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I don't really care, I almost die, oh, anything for my mermaid. I even toss away my pride, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I even take salt in my eyes, oh, anything for my mermaid. I even take everything in stride, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I even fight with both hands tied, oh, anything for my mermaid. I even live with my heart dry, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I even get on the water's rise, oh, anything for my mermaid. I even climb a steep landslide, anything for my mermaid. Oh, anything for my mermaid. I even take her as my bride. Oh, where is my mermaid? Oh, where is my mermaid? Oh, where is my mermaid? I said I love her, yet she didn't reply. Oh, where is my mermaid?
Ooh, unmute yourselves, give it
Hey! Oh, bravo.
Yeah,
That was amazing. Fantastic. Hey, bravo.
The whimsy. The whimsy.
Fantastic.
The whimsy.
Indeed.
It's my new favorite piece from Ed Poetastic. I'll even take salt in my eye or anything for my mermaid. Oh, that's gonna be stuck in my head. Ed Foreman on Facebook. Go check this dude out. Oh, I love that, Ed. Man, I was really worried about this topic and y'all just ripping it. I was like, oh, it's not gonna be good. They're not gonna like it as much, whatever. Y'all are killing it. I love this. All right. How could we talk about pirates and not get a legend to share a legend? We are now going with the urban cowboy poet. Brother, let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your legend.
Urban Cowboy Poetry, Facebook and YouTube. And you got it. I got a new stick, an urban legend about a pirate. I knew this legend because I lived in Tampa, Florida in the 70s, but I hadn't thought of writing about it. So thank you for the prompt. Gasparilla. Each year in Tampa, Florida, folks come from near and far to celebrate the legend of the pirate Jose Gaspar. Men and children dress their best, and ladies looking pretty watch pirates invade town hall and seize the key to the city. The mystic crew of Gasparilla in 1904 began the celebration of fanciful pirate lore. There's a pirate and festivities and a fortune hunting buzz about the treasure of a pirate who maybe never was. Gaspar was an officer in the Royal Navy of Spain who rose to infamy raiding ships across the Spanish Main. Legend says he staged a mutiny, stole a boat, and left to go to the west coast of Florida on the Gulf of Mexico. Through alleged accounts and histories, people came to hear of the man called Gasparilla and his piratical career. He amassed a huge fortune by plundering merchant ships, ransoming women hostages, and sending men to sleep with fish. The Florida Blanca was his vessel, with his Jolly Roger flag, from which he ruled Gulf waters and gained his impressive swag. He named an island Usipa after a maiden who wound up dead when she rejected his advances, and he lopped off her head. America bought Florida in 1821. Gaspar knew it was time to give up pirating and divvy plunder with his crew. Then he spied a British merchant ship. He wanted one more prize. The vessel was a pirate hunting schooner in disguise. A fierce battle ensued. The Florida Blanca was sinking. I will never surrender, Jose Gaspar was thinking. He wrapped himself in anchor chains and jumped off of the bow. So Davy Jones's locker is the place where he lies now. Legends, stories, and reports of his piracy abound, though no documents or evidence has ever been found. Archaeologic sites were damaged by salvagers who dove seeking a legendary pirate's non-existent treasure trove. So come on down to the Pirate Festival one of these years and have a blast on the bay known for its buccaneers. If you do make it to Tampa, you'd be a fool to go that far without tasting a Cuban sandwich and a hand-rolled cigar. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for the urban cowboy poet.
Good job, Urban
Nice
Cowboy.
job. I enjoyed that.
Very good job.
Yes, urban cowboy poet. Yes.
You can check him out, Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube. Make sure you go give this dude a follow. Always dropping a legend for us. I appreciate that. Next coming up is IC. Now, a couple of weeks ago, IC had missed his spot because he was writing the next great American novel and having divine sex. And
yes, at the same time.
Yep, that is the only reason to miss your spot on the open mics. It's good to see you, brother. Let us know where we can follow you online and then rock out.
All right, it is good to be back. You can follow me online, sorry about that, on the one I see on Instagram and Twitter. I'm starting to put more content out a little bit every day, but I'm fairly new online. Most of the time you'll see me here at New Eureka. So come on back here. Now, this is not specifically pirate-based. There is a couple references, but here you go. It's something new, and I'm going to share it. It's called El Nino. I was sheltered from the storm, but living in the eye of a hurricane, allowed only to peek out when the sun shone through. High pressures push my foundation to crack. Unstable, I was vulnerable to a rain that flooded me with the warming of a global proportions. Advisories were clear as day. Warnings told me of the snow job, but the avalanche silently crept, creating a vortex that bent my will. Caught in the whirlwind, a depression showered me into a fog that would not lift. The low pressure blown to my system inevitably created the perfect storm of emotion so deep I nearly drowned in the droughtful tears until the trade winds buoyed this pirated vessel, floating me back toward my ruptured levees as if to plunder all that I had not already lost. Thank you.
Ooh, give it up for IC.
IC, nice read.
Yes.
D.
Right. Bring
Very
that.
nice job. I enjoyed hearing that.
Thank
The
you.
one I see on Instagram and Twitter, he's like, well, you know, it's only got a couple of pirate references. I caught more than a couple on that one. That was awesome. I see. Make sure you give this dude a follow. Okay, let's keep going. Julian Matthews is next, our brother out in Malaysia. Oh, I'm loving his background already. There we go, Julian. Let me unmute him.
Hello.
Hi, Julian. You know the deal. Let the people know they can follow you online because after they hear your poetry, they're totally going to be a fan. Go ahead.
You can find me on Linktree, Julian Matthews. This is called To My Children, #Goodbye Jack. When they lay me in my last earthly box, think of the coffin as an almari, a clothes cabinet, that you delve in for what you need for the day. Closing the lid is just like sliding shut another wardrobe door, which you get to reopen every morrow and reach in and rifle through to get your favorite skirt or hoodie or all-weather jacket. And every now and then you will pause and want to wear something else, something lost among the skeletal hangers, something in the dark, in the darkest corner. And it will be my muddy boots, my sun-faded bandana, my salt-stained sash, my rusty cutlass, my eye patch, and my crooked pirate hat. And it'll bring back a memory of a snarky remark, or a funny story, or a laugh, or a poem, or just something you haven't worn for a long, long time, like a warm hug. Thank you.
What an ending. Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Julian.
That was nice, man. That was nice.
Julian, that was heartbreaking. Oh,
Wow.
I loved it.
Now I need a hug.
I loved it.
Julian Matthews, always tugging at the heartstrings. Make sure you give him a follow and look up his info on Linktree, Julian Matthews. Love having this dude on, our brother out in Malaysia. Okay, let's keep it moving. We keep moving on the waiting list. I love it. Next coming up, we're going to have our Tez talk with Mr. Tessa Somo. So happy we got to him. We are deep into the waiting list. I'm loving it. Mr. Tessa Somo, you know the deal. Where can we find you online? And then the floor is yours.
I'm gonna pass it on to somebody who hasn't read, so I'm gonna give it up.
Oh, we've got a pleasant gesture. Great Scott, we've got a pleasant gesture. Mr. Tessa Somo is going to pass on his spot so that we can get to other people. So the only one I have on the list who hasn't read yet, we've never heard from, is Larry Richardson. But is Larry Richardson here? I have other people on the waiting list we could get to, but I don't see a Larry Richardson here. Going once, going twice. And oh, wait. Oh, that's a CGI with Julian Matthews. Now he's got the pirate hat and the eye patch. I don't see Larry Richardson. So okay, so let's keep moving it forward to who's next on the list, and that is GK Jairam. Listen, if you ever sign up on the waiting list and you see GK Jairam is on the waiting list, then you know you're probably gonna get got to, because this dude is good luck. Every time he's on the waiting list, we get to the waiting list. GK. The floor is yours. Tell the people how they can follow you online if they can, and then read your poetry.
Sure. If you put in my name into the browser, in the YouTube, you get a lot of stuff. Stories, poems, etc. So here is the prologue to a memoir. It's called An Old Man Remembers. An old man remembers. Life is a correspondence course. Memory is the mailman. My mind is the mailbox, and I receive lessons every week. Should I protest, reject this capitulation to the recapitulation of pains and pleasures which have gone beyond the statute of limitations? There erupts a debate. The past is lost. A moment of the present is worth more than any momentous past. Lessons learned, forgotten and relearned. Should I recount them to an audience of strangers, the dreary details of events, shelf life long gone? Should I relive the 60th edition of my 16th year? A voice pushes through. The past is not lost. There is more of it than the present. Whereas the future at my age is on that page where Agatha Christie's Poirot is about to explain it all and bid ROO. Not many pages left. My life may not be full of sound and fury, but all the same, it is a tale told by an idiot, signifying something wise or otherwise. I would not be remiss if I reminisce. But why do some memories hide behind the pillars of my mind, playing hide and do not seek, whereas some others are raring to be aired and delivered to the world as immaculate, even though truly they are immaculate conceptions? Be that as it may, here goes my life and its learnings, such as they were, the beginning, the middle, and the coming end. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for G.
It was really nice. I really liked that.
Yes.
Wow. GK, thank you.
Good story.
Thank you.
I love having GK on. GK Jairam. Go look him up on YouTube. Put his name into the search bar. Okay, so I told Larry Richardson is here, and we have time to get to him. We are going to get to the 35th poet who's on the list. We have gotten that deep into the list. But first, we're going to go with Marilee Johnson. And then we're going to end with Larry Robinson. And then we are going to hear from my man, Ray Camacho, who's going to close us out tonight. Marilee, it is good to see you again.
See you.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I went with the theme, pirates, and I have 2 haikus and then some ramblings that might become a poem at some point. So bear with me on that one. Okay, let's see. Is Captain Kidd kin? Not per our family tree, but uncles swear so. Privateer, pirate, he plundered ships, good or bad, depends on ship's flag color. So this piece is includes some quotes were indicated from this book called The Pirates of the New England Coast, 1630 to 1730 by George Francis Dow and John Henry Edmonds. You can't go back and save someone from history. You can't reverse a guilty verdict, a death sentence, an execution. It was said Captain Kidd was a pirate, which he denied, but in a trial he was declared a pirate and executed. It was all politics. By the time of the trial, 2 ships' passes had disappeared, which meant he wasn't cleared of the charge of piracy. He was a political scapegoat. Quote, it was the suppression of evidence of 2 ships' passes and Captain Kidd's inability to produce it at the time of trial that contributed largely to his conviction and execution, unquote. 3 centuries later, the ship's passes, the suppressed evidence, were found in a public records office. So it is now possible to, quote, reestablish his fame as a master mariner of good repute and a privateersman who attacked only the ships of the enemies of the King of England, unquote. In the same trial, he got a murder rap for hitting someone with a boat's crew. Quote, at most he should only have been convicted of manslaughter. Quote, in 1721, he was hanged, after which his body was placed in chains and gibbeted on the shore near Tilbury Fort, unquote. The innocent are sometimes even those considered pirates. I wish I could go back and clear him, save him from his early and brutal death, and return him to his American wife. But realistically, I would probably then end up hanging beside him, the issue of a family relationship rendered completely moot. That's all. Thanks for listening to my ramblings.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Merrily.
Yes,
Merrily.
Good rambling.
Beautiful ramblings, girl.
Tonight, the part of Tez Talk will be played by Merrily Johnson.
Yes.
Merrily Johnson. I love it. I love it. Merrily is becoming a mainstay here with us. She keeps showing up. I love it. Come spend your Mondays with us. I appreciate you so much, Merrily Johnson. Okay, we are now going to Larry Richardson. But wait, why does it say Levon?
Oh yeah, that's me. That's my Larry Richardson is my name, but LeVan Robinson is my writer's name that I write under.
Got you. So would you rather me call you Levon Robinson then?
Well, when it comes to poetry and writing, yes, but my real name is Larry LeVan Richardson, so I use LeVan as my middle name, honor for the father. Robinson is my mother's maiden name, so I kind of put that together because they're honest, so.
Got you. Then whatever you want to be called, Levon Robinson, we got you. Where are you located?
I'm from Philadelphia, but I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, cool. Pittsburgh announced. Pittsburgh is representing strong today. Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, Levon, you know how it's done now. You've been watching us. Let the people know where they can find you online, and you got 4 minutes to rock out.
I got Lala the Poet on Instagram and LeVan Robinson on Facebook. So I don't have anything about pirates because I didn't know nothing about pirates, but I do have something inspirational. So it's called Align. To be aligned with your divine assignment is where the true meaning of beautification lies. We're all here to complete a specific mission tailored just for our individual talents and gifts. While here on earth, enjoy its wonders, but don't sell your soul for what it's worth. Although storms will come and make hard the journey's way, be strong, have faith in your value of self, and it'll eventually clear once again the light to be seen in the day. Keep your beautiful spirit grounded in truth and righteousness, and only then will you appreciate just how much you are truly blessed. Use this time here to get acquainted with the real you and to spiritually, mentally, and physically align. At the end, you'll have no regrets and will make and cherish precious memories with your allotted time. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Levon Robinson.
One of us. One of us.
Thank you.
One of us. One of us.
The people have spoken, Levon. You are going to have to come back. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. I'm so glad we were able to get to number 35 on the list. I think we got to 32 poets today. Only 3 people who had signed up. Maybe 4 people didn't show up. I appreciate the community. Next week, we are starting the new rules so we can get more poets on. And which is crazy is that like 2 weeks ago, I told people about the new rules and a bunch of people have already been like adapting and being really supportive about it. And I really, really appreciate it. We're going to get to hear from a lot more voices and a lot of voices that we haven't heard from in a while. So that is really awesome. For more information, especially about online open mics, for in-person open mics, hybrid open mics where it's half online, half offline, make sure you will follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z. Of course, check out the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, neweurekan.org, or you look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube. There's a ton of content on there that you could go and check out, including past open mics. The recording of tonight's open mic will be up on there. And with that being said, Ray Camacho, the hero tonight, helping me out being the co-host, is now going to rock out and close us out with the Good Night Sweet Poet poem. It was a pleasure hearing from all of y'all. Ray, when you are ready, you can unmute yourself. I don't know, you've got 2 names here. I don't know which one that you want to unmute. Let me see. I'm gonna unmute this one. Is this the one?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. Go ahead, Ray.
Great.
Take us home.
Let's do it. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you have written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Agarin into your home. This has been the Monday night online open mic presented by the New Yorican Poets Cafe, hosted by Advocate of Wordz. And on behalf of the community, I, Raymond Camacho, AKA the Goki Poet, would like to say, good night, sweet poet. Ache.